Good afternoon, I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Welcome to Camnet TV Midday News. The headlines. Patriotic Front and United Party for National Development trail on counter-accusations as citizens demand issue-based politics. Amid the debt swap debate, banks to continue deducting money from civil servants. Join me with the Midday News in detail after this commercial.
Mr. President, allow me to thank you. As a grandmother, left with huge responsibility, the social cash transfer that you have been giving us goes a long way. At least I can afford to buy my beautiful grandchildren school supplies. We thank your poor government for supporting more vulnerable citizens like me as our president for the next 5 years.
May I please have 1 beer and 2 glasses?
Do you have champagne? Yes.
Hold that thought. No champagne, just for the month. You know we gotta keep on texting R to 9595.
I'm sick and tired of this R9595.
You stand a chance of your lifetime to win a brand new 2020 Range Rover Evoque when you text R to 9595. From as little as 5 kwacha, you get 1 entry. 10 kwacha for 3 entries, and 20 kwacha will give you a whopping 7 entries. There will also be daily and weekly consolation prizes up for grabs. That's great news, right? Competition runs from 12th of May to 31st of August 2021 and is only open to Zamtel subscribers. Terms and conditions apply.
Zamtel, your digital lifestyle partner.
And now the media news in detail. Marketers of Mteba Market in Solwezi district have complained of the lack of amenities such as toilets, electricity and water at the trading place. Speaking to Camnet News, Astrida Kamwendo, a marketeer, explains that due to the lack of toilets at the market, people have resorted into using unfinished buildings to answer the call of nature, thereby is posing health risks. Another resident, Roger Multemlemba, has advised politicians to be delivering their campaign promises of facilitating development to the people.
The area of Solwezi district is one of the fastest growing settlements in the district. The expanding of the settlement comes with a demand for necessities such as schools, hospitals and markets. And marketeers at Muteba Market of Muzavula area have since 2015 been trading under difficult circumstances as the market lacks essentials such as electricity, water and toilets, which has been forcing the marketeers to use unfinished building and open space to answer the call of nature.
Indeed, we really need the help from any well-wishers, if it means the government, politicians, anyone who can help at this market. We really need help concerning electricity and in general toilets.
Bukwashoba kwa muntu nango kuayemba sukure tu ya kumazugo matoileti kafu hapo mari yetu shupa kuposha matoileti arondoroka amema pano twaromba ko bukwasho government etupeko bukwasho wakwambe betu kwasheko ateba marketia kumuzabura pa Mteba Market.
Some people they even go in shops, in those unfinished shops, so which is a hazard to our health.
These marketeers now want political leaders to stick to their promises and not what is often the case where they forget about the electorate once voted into power.
Tunakivange twamuvotera wapita Mr. Katoro. Yetu kwashe bantu bonse kuno twayanda yo tubena kwamba matoileti kafwako bintu byonse bakwetu bana kutomba pone mema ya mapipe batatu batoma tumema ya manjirai mwayuka ikwe matoileti ikwe manjirai geto kutema mema ya wamane notinge tubavotera bayatuchiye ye juba chikwaona utukakana
uyu walipo after twamvotera FA ile sofi tatwa mwene pofuti ewa alenga fionse tai sapo na mno market muku trip chef tulefaya takudi so tulefaya wewe twala votera akabombe kuno especially pama light na pama toilets.
In Solwezi, Municipal Council could not respond to these complaints by broadcast time. Prudence Jota reporting for Camnet TV. The United Party for National Development has dismissed
allegations that it is allegedly planning to cause mayhem on the 10th and 11th of August, saying it is false. Reacting to the allegations, UPND Alliance's media director, Thabo Kawana, described the allegation as falsehood being sprayed by the ruling Patriotic Front in their desperation to hoodwink the Zambian people. Mr. Kawana says that it is important that the Patriotic Front observe the peace accord, which was agreed upon by the two parties, and desist from acts of provocation.
The United Party for National Development and the Patriotic Front has continued to be into counter-accusation in the build-up to the August 12 elections. This is despite various stakeholders such as the civil society organizations and the church advising political parties to stick to issue-based politics. Thursday, 22nd July 2021, Patriotic Front Media Director Antonio Mwanza issued a statement claiming that the UPND are currently organizing 60,000 youths in Lusaka to cause mayhem in Mandevu compound.
As we are speaking right now, the UPND are organizing 60,000 youths in Lusaka. They're organizing these youths and they want to have what they will call a social contract signing with these youths. They plan to do these activities on the 10th and 11th in Mandevu.
But the United Party for National Development, UPND, has dismissed allegations against the party, accusing the party of causing violence and further to cause mayhem on the 10th and 11th August. UPND Alliance's media director, Thabo Kawana, told the media briefing that it is not true.
We want to make it very clear that the sentiments attributed to the PF through their media director, insinuating that the UPND are proposing violence and are perpetuating violence, are totally false and untrue. If it is the incidents they refer to in Sioma, we want to put it on record that the incident in Sioma ensued upon the PF beating up the independent candidate there, whom the residents rose in defense and beat up the PF candidates. Us as UPND, we have nothing to do with that.
And Mr. Kawana has urged the civil servant against buying into the idea of a debt swap.
We want to urge our civil servants to heed our call when we advise them that this debt swap, so-called, is a gonga, it is a kerenka, it is nothing but meant to hoodwink them to thinking that then they must vote for the PF because they've brought something good for them. There's nothing good the PF has brought.
Alex CHISHIMBA, Camnet News, Lusaka.
The Bankers Association of Zambia has revealed that it will continue to subtract the loan repayment from all public service workers until the ongoing reconciliation and the debt payback mechanism with the government are finalized. Speaking to Camnet News in an exclusive interview, Bankers Association of Zambia Chief Executive Officer Leonard Mwanza explains that all loans contracted by public service workers through a bilateral agreement with commercial banks and other financial institutions will remain active and serviced through direct debt order and individual bank accounts contained with existing loans obtaining from commercial banks and other financial institutions that the existing terms and conditions under which the loans were contracted are still in force.
The debate surrounding the debt swap initiative is far from being over. While government is keen at improving the livelihood of its citizens by initiating a mechanism meant to better their lives, such as giving a relief to civil servants who have overborrowed from financial lending institutions by taking over their debt burden for the next 3 months, as they devise plans on how best the indebted civil servants can repay their debt, one would however wonder if the banks will buy into the idea of not deducting the loans beginning the month of July. I spoke to the Bankers Association of Zambia to get their perspective on the matter, and this is what they had to say.
I wish to advise the public, especially public service workers, that existing loans obtained from commercial banks and other financial institutions under the terms and conditions on which these loans were borrowed are still in force. They are still active. Therefore, in this regard, all loans contracted under the Payroll Management and Establishment Control (PMIC) shall remain active and serviced by the government.
With regards to the July salaries, civil servants are keen to know if the lending institutions will not deduct from their earnings. Mr. Mwanza went ahead to clarify this notion.
Borrowed straight from the banks, straight from financial institutions, and those recoveries are going through their bank accounts. Those debit orders have already started going through, and they will continue going through up to the end of the month. So the recoveries that are done directly from people's salary accounts held in commercial banks shall continue until further notice. So they will be informed by the ongoing reconciliations, and those deductions will only stop at the point when government says we are ready, we will finalize the reconciliation, we owe this civil servant owe you so much, we are now ready to pay you, here is the check. At that point in time, the banks will release those loans to government. But until money exchanges hands, those loans will remain active and the recoveries will continue. Similar, even for those that are on payment payroll, from our side, those loans will remain active and serviceable.
While government has been criticized for failing to remit the monies it has been deducting from the civil servants to the financial lending institutions, what guarantee do the financial institutions have that government will this time fulfill the remitting of the resources to bail out its workers?
Given us a guarantee that the recoveries will come through. They've started coming through. They're actually up to date for commercial banks. They paid up to June yesterday, and they're saying before the end of this month they will pay what should have been recovered from civil servants in the month of July. They will still pay us before the end of the month. We've been given that assurance, that guarantee by government. So we're not worried, they're up to date. Now, what happens after the reconciliations, it will be informed on the process that government and mechanism they will put in place.
The association will continue to await further guidance from the government on the ongoing reconciliation and the debt buyback initiative. Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
The Lusaka Magistrate Court has set 9th September 2021 as the date for judgment in the case where former National Democratic Congress leader CHISHIMBA KAMBWILI is accused of forgery and being in possession of property suspected to be proceeds of crime amounting to over 6 million kwacha and among other charges. This was after all the 5 accused persons in this matter finished giving their testimony in the matter. KAMBWILI in this matter has been jointly charged with his son, Mwamuna Engineering and Technical Services, 2 Zambia Revenue Authority employees, Msonda Lukwesa, a senior inspector, and Mlenga Kapilima, a revenue officer.
After appearing before the Lusaka's Magistrate Court on accusation of forgery, taking pecuniary advantage, and being in possession of property suspected to be proceeds of crime amounting to over 6 million kwacha, among other charges, for close to 3 years, former National Democratic Congress leader CHISHIMBA KAMBWILI will have to wait for 2 more months for the court to deliver its judgment. Lusaka High Court Judge Mwaka Mikalile, sitting as principal magistrate Thursday morning, says she is going to give a judgment in the matter in September. This was after all the accused persons finished giving their testimonies. And commenting on their awaiting judgment, this is what Dr. KAMBWILI had to say.
I cannot say what do you expect from the court, because that is prejudice. I cannot prejudice my own case. What is just important is that I'm happy that the matter has come to a close and we are only waiting for a judgment. I've been going to court for the past 3 years on this matter, and today I can only say I'm happy that it has come to a stage where we are only waiting for judgment. But to say what the court is going to rule is actually not right, because you don't discuss a matter that is in court.
This case dates back to the year 2018, when the former NDC leader KAMBWILI was arrested and charged with 39 counts of different charges. His son too, Mwamba, has been implicated in this case. Mwamuna Engineering and Technical Services, 2 Zambia Revenue Authority ZRA employees, Musonda Lukwesa, a senior inspector, and Mlenga Kapilima, a former revenue officer, have also been jointly charged in this case. The 2 ZRA officials are alleged to have prepared a false document indicating that Mwamuna was tax compliant when not. And when the matter came up Thursday morning for continued defense, the last accused person, Mlenga Kapilima, a former ZRA employee, in her testimony, disclosed that the tax clearance certificate, which is before court in relation to Momona Company, is an authentic document which she issued herself to Momona in 2014. She told the court that from 2015 till date, Momona has been issued tax clearance because it is tax compliant. She denied ever issuing a fake tax clearance certificate to Momona Company. It is alleged in one of the counts that Momona Engineering and KAMBWILI between August 1st, 2014 and September 30th, 2016 in Lusaka, jointly and whilst acting together by means of false pretense, dishonestly obtained money from China Henan International Group Corporation Limited, purporting that Momona, a company which was subcontracted, was executing works on Dwingo Mansa Road when in fact not. 9th September 2021 has been set as Judgment Day. Miriam Kaimba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
That news item brings us to the end of Camnet TV Midday News, but before we go, here are the headlines once again. Patriotic Front and United Party for National Development trail on counter-accusations as citizens demand issue-based politics. Amid the debt swap debate, banks to continue deducting money from civil servants. Thank you for joining me. I am Precious Mzeya Sakaleji. Continue watching Camnet TV, not just another channel. Good afternoon.